Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Hey, good to see all you guys on. Hopefully you're well. Hey, Alison, Aaron, Dave, Jeff. 15 years. Mate, Jeff's already... I can finish now. Thanks, Jeff. We don't even need to do the Wealth Coffee Chat. Jeff calls it as it is. Good on you, Jeff. Hey, great to see you, mate. Hey, morning, Jimmy, Nick, Brendan, Sharon, Linda, Leonie. Hey, Trina. How are you, buddy? Hope all's well down there in the lovely town of SA. Hey, I was down there the other day. Bought a bit of wine, but got some interesting things coming up down your way soon. Trine, we should talk. We should talk, Trina. Ben, when are you coming to Brisbane, mate? We haven't caught up. Hopefully you're all well, folks. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Good to see all of you on this morning. Someone's there, maybe morning. That could be Fiona. That's you, Fiona. Morning, team, gang. Good to see you. Anyone who is new. Jason Witt's my name. Says it right there. If you didn't know already, we've been connecting each morning as a crew of mad, keen property investors for a couple of years now. Ever since the COVID kicked in, but really I've been investing myself, property investing, over 23 years or something now. Should add it up one day. I just say more than 20 years and that just makes life easy. And over 18 coaching property investors just like you across Australia and New Zealand. Along the way, done a few things. Learnt one or two things. Some things to do, some things not to do. Let me tell you, I've probably made... I know, I don't like to say this out loud. You don't want to put it out into the universe, but I reckon I've made more mistakes than most of you combined. Thankfully, I've learnt from them, and I didn't keep making them. And I get to teach you guys that, pay it forward on these Wealth Coffee Chats in the morning. So welcome along. Give me a shout out if you're new. You might be new in our mentoring and coaching program. You might be new to our channel. Say a hello. It's always nice to know where you're coming in from and what you're up to. Hey, this morning I was going to talk to you guys about how long does it take to get wealthy? How long does it take to get wealthy when it comes to property investing? It's an interesting one because I've talked to like a lot of investors around Australia over the last 20 plus years. Hey, someone coming in from San Francisco. Amy, fantastic. Thanks for joining us. San Francisco, all the way from the US of A. Fantastic. Thanks for coming along. Tell me, in the chat right now, what do you guys think? Tell me, how long from residential property investing as your wealth creation vehicle when you have a career or a business, how long does it take? How long do you think it would take statistically for your real estate to grow to a point where you believe or it's creating an income and creating some wealth that you're happy with? How long do you reckon that might take? Put that in the chat for me right now if you've got access to the keyboard. Just making sure my mic works. Hey, good morning to Tony from Christchurch. Awesome. That's fantastic. Great to see the New Zealanders popping in. Kia ora. We've got a few answers here. Jeff kicked it off with 15 years. Luke and Trina saying 10 to 20 from Luke, 10 years from Trina. Yeah, minimum 10. Minimum 10. I reckon you're looking 10 to 15 years. Chris, yep, that's right. And I'm not talking about working the real estate team. Like if you want things to accelerate in real estate investing, adding value to real estate helps that wealth creation go a lot faster. Adding value, things like renovation and developing and highest and best use, like turning a big block of land into 2 dwellings. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you buy good real estate and own it, how long should we and it also depends on your ability to debt reduce as well, by the way. So anyway, there's some good answers in there. Barnes saying, all right, maybe 20 to 30 years. Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. This is the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning. And I'm probably preaching to the converted, to be honest. But if anyone's sitting there going, somebody told me property prices double every 7 to 10 years. What rubbish. What complete rubbish. What absolute rubbish. Listen, property prices don't double every 7 to 10 years. I don't know how that got out. That is complete crap. The stats show it's a 12 to 15 year cycle. And that lines up with most of our belief here in the chat this morning. What the challenge for me, the challenge for you is we know this. 8 or 10 of you put it in the chat. There's 60 plus listening live right now, and there'll probably be 1,000 listen to it by the end of the day. Right, here's my challenge to you. If you're sitting there going, what do you mean I got to wait 10 to 15 years? This is too slow. This is not fast enough. Wow, folks, this is property investing. I'm telling you right now, I have not met in my travels, and I've met thousands of residential property investors from Australia and New Zealand. Like, to be honest, we've had over 7,000 members join our training program, our lifetime investing program. We've done over 10,000 deals, 10,000 property deals. We've seen, in our little neck of the woods, we've seen, I hate to say we've seen it all. I don't think we have. Hadn't seen a pandemic until just now. There you go, 7% compounding interest to double in over 8 years. Yeah, I don't think a property would, I haven't seen a property perform like that consistently in every single marketplace in Australia. Anyway, my point this morning is let's talk about what it takes for all of us to understand where the wealth and value comes. Certainly, buying the right type of real estate is important. But over the 3 stages of your investing, you guys have seen this before, the acquisition, consolidation, lifestyle, it takes some time. And it's fairly agreeable in the chat there that probably around the 15 to 20 year mark, if you get a bit of a rustle on, and maybe maybe the timing is fortuitous for you, or the starting point of your investing is maybe a little bit more lucrative than others. You might have some cash, whatever it might be. I've got a few clients who've had some windfalls in business and other things and start out with some chunky bits of cash. That helps. So, acceleration. All right, how do we, if we wanted to, compress this from that end? How do we make it maybe shorten? If you wanted to, let's call it 7 to 12 years. What would we do? Chuck it in the chat right now when it comes to what things can we do to maybe compress and speed up our wealth. Luke has said right there in the chat, the quality of our property and the percentage of compounding growth over time is one of the things that can speed it up. Okay? Tell me in the chat, is there anything else that can speed up your wealth? There's 2 main things. The 2 main things that can speed up your wealth in property investment creation. One, the market will do, and one you can do. Tell me what they are. Maybe you know them. Maybe you don't. As we go. Valuations for leverage. If you can compound the number of properties. The quality. Let's do that. I think you're good there, Trina. I'm going to add a third then today. Okay, quality, right? Quality, quantity. Yep, highest and best use. Let's call that the quality mix. Luke, if you've got a big bit of dirt, manufactured growth, add the value, force the value on the quality of the real estate. Yep. And you can call that highest and best use. And number 4, I'm going to put 4 in there. We started at 2, and we're going to put 4 in, and you can debt reduce. All right, debt reduce. Now, if you want that to happen faster, if you want something to happen faster, imagine right now you were there at home going, I'm going to give my property portfolio the best chance possible. The best chance possible. Well, this is probably the mix. Buy the best quality properties you can buy. Buy as many as you can buy. Many as you can buy. Chris, out in the bush from the far north Queensland. Mate, good to see you. Got the internet out there and dialing in, mate. Great to see you, buddy. Nice coffee. So, buy high quality real estate. Buy as many as you can buy safely. Now, it's an interesting one. And probably, like I said before, probably, not telling any of you guys anything you don't already know. I see a lot of investors having financial capacity to buy 1 or 2 or more investment properties, but they buy one and they wait around and they go, I'll wait. I'll wait and see how this one goes. No, team, gang, get on with it. It takes time. And compounding growth, absolutely. The more you hedge your bets, which means if you can buy 5, then buy 5. Don't buy 2, get 5. The better off you're going to be. Make sure those properties are the highest and best use. What is the highest and best use of existing properties, folks? If you can't add any value to the actual physical dwelling, right? Let's say you've got a good quality property sitting there right now, a house that's already maximized on its block of land, a townhouse or an apartment. What's a way you can now highest and best use it? Add a minor dwelling if you've got the land? Absolutely, Nilesh. New South Wales has got some pretty excellent rules and stuff with councils where you can add a minor dwelling. Same with many of the other states. But if you're maximised on your real estate right now, what can you do? Tell me. There's something. Excuse me. How can you expedite? Boom, Luke. You can change the profile of how it earns you income. Right, listen. Maybe you buy the property and you don't want the stress and pressure of, some of the inconsistency of short-term letting for the maybe 1, 2 or 3 or 5 years. When your portfolio is in place, I can tell you right now, this is what I do all the time. One of my properties in Canberra right now, straight off the bat when the property settled, I just rented it completely normally for a year. I actually got 18 months. And now the lease is going to be up in August. I'm going to fully furnish that and Airbnb it. So first couple of years, let it settle in, let the whole block settle in, especially when you're buying in an apartment or a new housing area or whatever it might be, and then accelerate it with extra income. Often there is something you can do, team. There's something you can do. Highest and best use. I love it. Accelerator and debt reduce. Now, debt reduction is rent by room. Absolutely. And those are active strategies, by the way. Active strategy. Not only can you be active on adding value, as some of you might be going, like me, I hate you. I don't want to renovate. I have no interest in doing it. Not interested at all. I buy brand new properties in great locations, and then what I'll do to accelerate my wealth is I will short-term let or furnish a let or whatever it might be. Right? That's my strategy because I don't want the hassle of all the other stuff. And plus, brand new's got great tax deductions. Fantastic. But anyway, and so's the furniture. Anyway, that's not what today's about. Listen, bit of a shout out if you're up for it. If you are in our mentoring program and you didn't catch our tax update the other night at mentoring, I think it was about a month ago, I'm doing a tax webinar tonight. If you want to come along, give us a shout in the chat. Doing the 4 types of taxes that we as property investors reduce or can reduce down to extremely low amounts. Going to take you through how we can earn $110,000 income tax free in the future. The number of ways to do zero capital gains tax. Few of you guys already know this, but if you don't, if you want to come along tonight, let us know in the chat. Give us a yes tax in the chat, and I'll get the team to send you a message for a registration. Come along to our webinar tonight. Anyway, let's back to our chat this morning. Wealth Coffee Chat. We can debt reduce. Debt reduction is a little bit difficult for some of us because we don't have spare cash flow often. We're putting it into the acquisition. There's not much left over. But team, what we all know is that if you can get extra cash back, your tax deductions, we'll talk about that tonight, it can help accelerate your wealth also. Okay? So, what does it all mean? Let's quickly jump over to this little tool. I've showed you guys this a few times. So, I've got a 20-year goal up the top here. If you have a look, I've got a 20-year goal. I want a passive income of 100K. Starting out today, no passive income in the mix yet, but I've got my principal place of residence, okay? And I've put 4% capital growth there. Luke was saying to double in value, it needs to compound at 7%. But let's have a bit of a look at this. And I'm just going to add a couple of investment properties. All right, I'm going to add an investment property. And the stats are pretty basic and simple here, team. So, don't get too carried away with, the nitty-gritty of it. This is the concept of it. I add one investment property. And if we go out 20 years and have a look at my destination, my goal, I'm not making it there. In 20 years' time, with 4% growth and 3% growth on my rent, not making it there, okay? Not making it. So you need to add another property. It doesn't matter what you do to that property. Well, it might, but, if that property is fully maximized, where, oh, bugger, Chris, one investment property won't get you there, folks. And this is where we talked about the conversation a moment ago. Quality and quantity. Those two are very important to kick into gear. Right, we add another one. Let's add another investment property. All right, slowly but steadily winning the race. Going to get there. All right, still, again, in 20 years' time, we've got some pretty significant equity over there. Now, you and I know we can make equity. We can make equity work for cash flow, but let's talk about this. And then, 3 properties starting to get there. Now, if we kick in down here and we say, all right, I want that to be 4%. Again, the compounding process of our income starts to become real over that period of time as well. Compounding growth, compounding income. Let's have a look. Not too bad. Getting close. We did it. All right, so there you go, team. We put that back to 3%. 3. 5 investment properties. 5 investment properties. 1 principal place of residence that you might upgrade 1 or 2 times over a 20-year period as we go, which is cool, right? So, like what we just talked about a moment ago, it's a 15 to 20-year journey. You can accelerate it by increasing your income or reducing your debt for cash flow. For many of us up here, if you look at the equity right up there right now and you look at your mortgage balance, the mortgage balance is pretty low. These properties kicked into principal and interest after 5 years, depending on the time frame that we put in there. I usually try and do interest only for 5 years. Okay, I'm going to go kick that down there as well. So 5 years interest only. You guys know this. You guys know this is the strategy. 5 years interest only. Then once you've got a bucket load of extra cash flow and buffers and all sorts of stuff, give it 5 years to get ahead of itself. Let it kick into principal interest if you want to. I usually kick it down the road another 5 years on interest only and build up my buffers, build up my redraw or my offset, and use that for later on as we go. And yes, we've got increasing expenses down here, Michael, down there, along with that's 2% a year. You can adjust this spreadsheet. And like I said before, Michael and others, this is just a conversation around the idea of your wealth needing time to grow. What unfortunately I see often is that property investors underestimate the time it's going to take. Underestimate the time it's going to take. They think, 7 to 10 years. Well, 7 to 10 years won't be enough. Won't be enough for a bunch of things. Often we might get equity and growth. Challenge for many of us is being able to use that equity or wealth or value in a productive way when it comes to our cash flow and our income. And then I see people selling their properties because, they haven't structured them right. But anyway, there you go. Folks, this spreadsheet is available to our mentoring client members, our coaching members. If you're in the mentoring program, give it a shout out to your coach. And they will point you in the right direction. These are the tools for our members. There are a couple of free ones on our mentoring, on our Positive Real Estate page, folks. You can track that down on the Facebook page if you have a look around there. Anyway, that's it. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. Over and out for Monday the 6th of June. Join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat. If you... I've got a few of you guys keen to come along tonight for the tax night, so I'll get the team to reach out to you. Keep an ear out in your Facebook chats or on this chat here. I'll get the team to tag you with the link. And if I don't see you tonight, well, I'll see you tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat, round about the same time, 8:10. You guys be well. Remember, this thing's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time to get your wealth in the right position. And remember, buy well, never sell. That's it from me, folks. Be good. See you tomorrow, round about the same time.